Um, okay, so just to let you know that this session will be recorded. I also just want to let you know that our school marketing officer, Aiko, is here with me, and she'll be able to respond to any queries as we move through the session. Here she is saying hello. Which aren't specifically related to the kind of academic or program related issues. So what I'm going to do is give you a short presentation, and then there'll be plenty of time for questions afterwards. Okay, so our MSc in Performance Psychology is about helping people to perform better and more consistently in fields where excellence counts. And our program considers the application of psychology across performance domains. So from high performance sport through to the military, to medicine, to business, emergency services, and to the performing arts. Now, sports psychology has traditionally led the way in terms of understanding performance, and particularly peak performance. So a lot of the literature, the research, the theories that we draw on come from sports psychology and from mainstream psychology, and then we apply those across these different performance domains. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Amanda Martindale, and I'm the current program director for the MSc Performance Psychology. And I've been a member of the teaching team here at the University of Edinburgh since 2006. I'm a chartered psychologist and a registered practitioner psychologist, and I've previously supported high-performing athletes across a range of sports at major games such as the Commonwealth Games and the Olympic Games. My research interests are around the development of professional judgment and decision-making expertise. So I'm really interested in how people make complex decisions in very high-pressured environments. And I'm currently working with crime scene examiners and also organ retrieval teams. So that's a little bit about me. As the program director, I'm also a course organizer for two of our courses, Peak Performance and Professional Skills. And I'm going to give you a little bit more detail on these courses in just a moment. But I also wanted to introduce to you the other members of our team. Hugh Richards, who was one of the originators of our program back in 2000. He's a course organizer for understanding research concepts, stress coping and control, dynamics of performance teams, and for the dissertation course. And then my colleagues, Alan McPherson and Ailsa Niven. Alan's the course organizer for planning and instruction, and Ailsa for research process. So all of these staff members are chartered psychologists, and all have extensive experience of working in applied psychology, but also as teachers, as educators, and as researchers. So that was a little bit about us. In terms of the overview for the remainder of the talk, I plan to let you know a bit about the aims and the structure of the program, and then I pulled out some program highlights to tell you about, and finally just to discuss a little bit around the reputation of the University of Edinburgh and tell you a little bit about the beautiful city of Edinburgh. And then, very importantly, we'll have plenty of time for your questions just following on from this presentation. Okay, so the aims of the programme. I know this slide looks quite wordy, so I'm not going to read it all out, but so that you've got that information there. And I'm just going to pull out some of the kind of key aims for our program. Very often our students are looking for a knowledge base which is going to inform their applied practice using performance psychology. So they want to know what's contemporary in performance psychology and how can we best develop an evidence-based practice. So how do we know that what we're doing is good, is based on evidence, is based on science, and is going to make a real difference to the people that we'd like to work with. We also have a number of mature students who come to our program who have a lot of prior knowledge, practical knowledge, working in a particular performance domain, whether that be in coaching or in business or in a particular field such as the military or an emergency service. And they're really looking to supplement their professional knowledge with an academic knowledge base. So we have a real nice mix of students who come onto our program through the undergraduate route, but also from various professions. Some of our other aims are to encourage our students to be critical consumers of knowledge. So to be able to work out, okay, what are the strengths and weaknesses of the different approaches that we can take? And again, how can you begin to select what some of the most effective approaches would be for the field that you would like to work in? So we're really looking to develop students as scientist practitioners, and also importantly to develop your research skills as consumers of research, so that you're able to make informed decisions about what different approaches, techniques or tools to use, and also so that you can design your own research. And I'll speak a bit more about that as we look at the dissertation course. We also encourage you to consider your own professional development, and we have a course specifically designed to do that called Professional Skills in Development Environments, and we really encourage you to reflect on your own continued professional development as part of that course. So overall, we're really looking to develop students who can make an effective contribution to human performance and to human flourishing in whatever field they choose to enter or to return to if they've come from a specific field already. Okay, so a little bit about our program structure. The program runs across the full academic year. So you join us in September, and the program runs until the middle or end of August. So it's a full year. Semester 1 is from September to December, and there are 3 courses covered within that semester. Understanding research concepts, which really enables you to consume research, as I was previously describing, to really understand study design, and also how to interpret research and stats. We're very aware that students come from lots of different backgrounds and have a great deal of difference perhaps in their experience in dealing with research and having access to research. So this 5-week course right at the start of our program really makes sure that everyone is up to speed in terms of understanding these really important research concepts. Another course in semester 1 is stress, coping and control. And this course looks at the effect of stress on performance, and really importantly how coping works, and how we can train coping, and really looks at the importance of self-regulation in terms of effective performance. The other course we have in semester 1 is planning and instruction for performance, and this course offers a lot of consideration around motivation, around goal setting, performance profiling, and in particular looks at talent development, talent identification and talent development environments. We have the professional skills course, which bridges semester 1 and semester 2. That I mentioned that just previously in the presentation. This course really offers students an understanding of the professional landscape around performance psychology, what some of the professional bodies are, what some of the accreditation pathways are. And we also spend a bit of time developing some specific skills, presentation skills, information skills, and really importantly, interpersonal skills. And we do a bit of role playing around setting up the consultation relationship. As I mentioned previously, we also do some CPD planning within that course. In semester 2, we cover peak performance. So that looks at the peak states and experiences required to perform at the highest level. And this course also looks at how we can best design interventions around peak performance. So we look at the full consultation model in terms of the process of change, how to conduct a needs analysis, the various different types of interventions that you can implement, from basic or traditional interventions right the way through to some more contemporary acceptance, mindfulness-based interventions. And finishing, of course, with how we can evaluate the efficacy of the work that we do. Lots of case study approaches and scenarios used within that course. The Dynamics of Performance Teams course looks at issues related to team function and dysfunction, again across different performance domains, and really spends time looking at the critical topics of leadership and culture within teams, how we can maximize those or be aware perhaps where there's deficiencies in those areas, and also crucially looks at team training and the different strategies we can use for team training to make sure that we're developing, for example, shared mental models. Finally, in semester 2 is the research process course, which is a 5-week course, and that really sets you up for the dissertation to come. So as part of this course, you learn about constructing your research proposal, how to devise a good research question, and looking into some of the issues around feasibility of your study, the ethics involved, and some of the logistics involved as well in terms of your methods. So at that point, that concludes the kind of taught element of the program, and then students move into what is effectively the 3rd semester, and that's where they undertake the dissertation course, which is the remaining part of the program, and that allows for in-depth study of one particular topic that you've chosen on and that you work with along with your supervisor to complete that dissertation course. So I've put up a visual here to give you a sense of how these different courses come together. So you can see in the different semesters that the courses that I've spoken about there. On the left-hand side, we've got the research courses and the professional skills courses, which really scaffold your core psychology knowledge, which is coming, as you can see, from the 4 core courses there. And once you've finished that top part of the program, that would make you eligible for the postgraduate diploma in MSc Performance Psychology. And then, depending on your performance at that stage, you may become eligible to move on to the dissertation component, and it's the gaining of both of those components which enables you to get your MSc in Performance Psychology. In terms of session times, our teaching sessions are at the front of the week, so they take place on Monday afternoons and evenings and Tuesday afternoons and evenings. The reason we have evening sessions, which are 6 to 8 p.m, is that we have a number of part-time students or students who choose to take the program part-time, and that enables them to perhaps be working in the day but be able to come to our sessions in the evening. Our core courses rotate or alternate each year, so each course is available in an evening session over a 2-year period. There is, however, a considerable amount of directed learning which takes place in the remainder of the week. And staff on each of the courses will guide you towards the directed learning that will take place in the remaining time. There are various part-time routes from a minimum of 2 years up to a maximum of 6 years, and I can elaborate on those in more detail if that's relevant to anybody here. Okay, so some of the program highlights. We have a small group of students. Our sessions tend to be between 25 and 30 students, and we have an international cohort. So really from across the globe, we draw students from North America, from Europe, from the Far East, from Australia, New Zealand. So you have this wonderful opportunity to develop an international network with people not just diverse in terms of where they're from, but in terms of their performance background and in terms of the domains that they're interested in or coming from. Our teaching staff are friendly, are accessible, and as I've mentioned, are very experienced in terms of working in applied settings with performance psychology. All our staff are research active, and all our teaching is informed by the cutting edge research which we are conducting. Our staff are part of the Human Performance Science research group here at the university, and we collaborate with external partners, and I've put some examples up here on the slide: high performance sport organisations, the Scottish Police Authority, Forensic Services, and the National Organ Retrieval Service. And these collaborations and partnerships often result in opportunities for our students to take part in research which is related to a bigger project. We're also really proud of our peer mentoring program, where previous graduates of the program offer peer mentoring and peer support to the current cohort. So there's plenty of opportunities to meet with graduates of the program and to hear about what they're doing now, and for them to feed into your experience of being at Edinburgh. I'm sure you'll be aware of the reputation of the university as a world-leading research university, and we're also very committed to providing high-quality, innovative, and cutting-edge teaching. And we're really fortunate to have fantastic support services available to students, whether that's through our library and other facilities, or through a range of student support services from the Institute of Academic Development to our career service, through to student counselling, and we've got a new Centre of Wellbeing currently under construction. We've also got an effective personal tutor scheme, so every student will be allocated a personal tutor to support you through your learning experience while you're here at Edinburgh. Moray House, which is where our programme is based, is located in the city centre. It's right next to the Royal Mile, which leads up to the castle itself, and we're also very near to the Scottish Parliament and to Holyrood Park. So you'd be based right in the centre of Edinburgh, and certainly not on a campus sort of spread out in terms of the outskirts of the city. Edinburgh is a very beautiful city. It is one of the most desirable cities to live in the world. There are plenty of green spaces. I can't always guarantee the blue skies that are showing in this picture here, but it's certainly a very attractive city, and students very much enjoy spending time and living within the city. It's also a historical city. It's got a great dynamic in terms of its culture, in terms of the historical buildings, numerous museums and art galleries and theatres. So it's really easy to see why Edinburgh has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. One of the most appealing things about Edinburgh as a city is that almost everything is within walking distance. I'm sure you'll have heard of the Edinburgh International Festival, which takes place in August each year. There are a number of other festivals which take place annually, which bring talent from across the globe to Edinburgh and really make it a celebration of diversity and really showcase the city's culture. Just up the road from where we're based is the university's Centre for Sport and Exercise, and here you would have access to world-class facilities in terms of gym membership, different courses and workshops, our sports medicine centre, and we also have, as you would expect, extensive playing fields, a climbing wall, a swimming pool, really fantastic facilities. We also have a performance sport programme here because the University of Edinburgh is among the country's leading sporting universities. Okay, so that's all from me in terms of a delivery about our programme, and now I'm very happy to answer any questions that you have, and I will navigate onto the chat screen to have a look at that. So bear with me as I just scroll back through your questions, and if you have any further questions, then please feel free to add these, and as they pop up I will respond to them as best I can. I could very happy to answer any questions as well.
Thanks, Amanda.
Okay, so the first question, how many students apply each year? And of those students, how many are admitted to the programme? Okay, so the number of applicants varies each year, but we're a very popular programme. So we have a lot of applicants, and they go through the application process and dealing with our college admissions team, and then we admit approximately 25 to 30 students onto the programme each year. We find that's a nice size of cohort. It's small enough that you get to know everybody, and it also allows for that interpersonal type of teaching that we like to deliver. We can offer workshops, we can offer practical sessions with that nice size of cohort. I think it's also important to say that you would be taught for the core psychology courses, you would be taught within that cohort. So that would be your maximum class size, would be sort of 25 to 30. For some of the shared courses, for example, the research courses, you're taught alongside some of our other master's programs, but still the combined size of the class is between 40 and 50. So still quite a nice size in terms of the cohort. Feel free to tap away with any other questions you might have. If there's anything you'd like me to elaborate on a bit further from the presentation, then by all means let me know. Okay, so Matteo has asked a question around the entry requirements. The best place to look for further information, or to contact and ask for further information about the specifics of your entry requirement is our postgraduate admissions team. ICO is very helpfully going to pop their email into this link for you, and they will be able to give you specific advice about how your undergraduate degree is interpreted, particularly if it's an international undergraduate degree, how that's interpreted here at Edinburgh, and how that is comparable, and whether that meets our entry requirement. So it would be our admissions team that is able to offer you that information. Aiko's just put there that Moray is linked to our program, so I'm sure she'd be very happy to help you. Okay, so another question here on some of the content within the course, within the program, and specifically, does it go deep within some of the neurological or perhaps some of the neuroscientific aspects of peak performance? So yeah, I can chat a little bit about that since I'm the course tutor for peak performance, and yes, it does. So particularly we focus on some of the attentional control and attentional strategies around peak performance. So as part of that, we look into how we can understand some of the limitations within the human attentional system, and so that does require us to look at some of the neuroscience around attention. For example, the switch from attention to intention, just as we're about to perform, and the neurological basis for that, and the implications, therefore, for the types of strategies that we want to employ in order to ensure effective performance. Another key area where we really delve and look into some of the neuropsychology is around imagery. And of course, we've got to have a really great understanding of the different functions within the brain, in order to make sure that when we're using imagery, we're using it as effectively as possible, and really making sure that it's as functionally equivalent as it can be. So yeah, there are certain topics within the course where it really offers that opportunity to delve much more into some of the neuroscience and some of the neurological aspects of performance. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, so another question here around applications. I can see Aiko is typing away here. So for the September 2020 start date, typically the application process would open around the beginning of October. I'm delighted that Aiko has conferred from October the 1st that we will be looking at applications for the next cycle. So how are we doing? Does anyone have any further questions regarding the program? Anything else you'd like to know about that we can help you with today? Okay, the application deadline for this year, it runs through the summer. However, I would encourage you, if you're thinking of applying, to apply as soon as possible. We are a popular program, and we do tend to see a surge of applications around this time, around May, June time. So yeah, we would encourage you, as Aiko's put there, we'd encourage you to apply as early as you possibly can, just to allow time for your application to be processed, for us to reach a decision on that, and also if you have any visa requirements or other practical logistical arrangements that you need to make in order to come here, then yeah, it's always good to be prepared nice and early. I can do that on the next. So I'm just gonna, feel free if you have any other questions just while I pop on the last slide here, to let you know that you can get in touch. If you have any questions which come to you, after this session, you think, oh, I wish I'd asked this, then by all means you can get in touch. There's 3 different contact points here, as you can see. There's our admissions team. So if you've got any questions around your application around your previous studies and the application process itself, then you could contact our admissions team. We have our program secretary who can answer different questions around practical issues, and then for any specific program related matters, you can get in touch with myself as well. I was also going to recommend some pre-course reading. If you're interested in that, I was going to recommend this book. Hopefully you can see this on the video, but I'll read out the details as well. It's called Performance Psychology, A Practitioner's Guide, and it's edited by Dave Collins, Angela Button, and Hugh Richards. This is a great text and a great source of information. Dave Collins and Hugh Richards were the two guys that originated the course here at the University of Edinburgh. So this text contains contributions from a lot of the staff here on the programme, and will give you a really great insight into some of the content that we cover, and it's a great starting text if you're looking to get ahead of the game, or if you're looking for something to read and get you up to speed before you come onto the programme. I can see Aiko has added a link to the book there also, so that's great. Yeah, in terms of your applications, you don't have to wait until you've finished your current studies. I know it's a very busy time when you're trying to finish off. It can be quite a lot to also think about the next stage, but you can apply before you finish your undergrad or your bachelor degree, because we can make you an offer which is conditional. So it would be based on you finishing your degree. You don't have to wait till you've finished before you apply. So we'll maybe just wait a few more minutes to see if you've got any further questions. Feel free to. There's still time for you to post any questions that you might have. Equally, as Aiko's popped up there, if you're happy that you feel you've got all the information you're looking for at this stage, that'd be great if you could let us know as well, and then we can begin to draw the information session to a close. Okay, well, thank you very much for your comments. Thank you for joining us today. Good luck with finishing your studies if that's what you're doing, and I wish you all the best with your application to our program. As I say, if you've got any further questions at any point, please do get in touch. But we look forward to receiving your application and hopefully to meeting you at some point. Okay, so I think that's everything from us. Thanks very much for joining us this morning for this online session, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.